From Judges to Esther, they are all historical books in the Old Testament. They all describe how the nation of Israel left the peak of the book of Joshua, all the way down, all the way down. Why did Joshua's death end the pinnacle of the nation of Israel? There's a reason Joshua didn't develop a successor the way Moses did. The book of Judges begins after the death of Joshua and ends with the words everyone did as he pleased. Since Joshua had no successor to unify the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes went their separate ways and fell rapidly. God raises up judges temporarily only when he is oppressed by the nations and calls on God. In chapter 8 of 1 Samuel, the elders of Israel demanded that Samuel appoint a king like all the nations. God answered Samuel's prayer that the people rejected me, that I should not be their king. God is displeased. Therefore, although Israel had a king, it did not follow the will of God, but imitated the example of the Gentiles. Even though there are several good kings such as David, the overall trend is still all the way down. Until the end of Esther, the history books. In the entire book of Esther, God's name is not mentioned anywhere. I remember a commentary that appreciated the features of the book of Esther. Although God was not mentioned from the beginning to the end, there was always God's deeds in it. It's good to appreciate God's work in it, but God is never mentioned, and it is never worth admiring. The most challenging history books are Kings and Chronicles. He is also the king of the northern kingdom of Israel, and the king of the southern kingdom of Judah, and some names are even heavier. So let's summarize first. It is very necessary. Let's talk about kings first. Only here are the kings of Israel, and they are all bad, because they do what Jeroboam did, set up private priests and temples, and worship the golden calf. Therefore, when we read about the king of Israel, we can briefly read about the king of Judah in detail. There were also bad kings in Judah, so we focus on remembering the good ones. By the time of Chronicles, there were no more kings of Israel. Only the king of Judah enriches the record of the king of Judah in the book of Kings. The most outstanding part of the book of Kings is the record about the disciples of the prophets Elijah and Elisha. Except for David and Solomon, it is more brilliant than any king. Therefore, being a king is not the most important thing, but following God's will is the most precious thing. There are also prophets in Chronicles, such as Od, chapter 28, and Isaiah, chapter 32, but the content is much less.